just seen me using was the Bush Froe. I designed this here to be a chopper as well as a Froe. I have this big eye on the end. Now that there, I just used a small little branch that I had, piece of that tree, just to show you how it worked. I'm going to actually get a bigger one, and I've been using this a fair bit, and it's been working very decent. I can tap that down a little bit, put my hands in, give it a crack, and it splits it right open. Also, if I get in a tough spot, I can give it a crack and then be able to work it down further. So it's been a very valuable tool to me. This here is designed to chop and to split wood. That's what it's designed for, is a wood processing tool. So Darren at Lone Forge Custom Knives had told me if I wanted to make a knife that I could use his shop. I've been over there hanging around and watched him make some beautiful knives, different styles of knives, a lot of Damascus and such. He does beautiful work. So it got me into the fever. I got a little bit of the fever. I wanted to make a knife. But I always carry the Survival Bush Point. That there has done everything I need in a knife. This one here, I can make shelter, I can make a toothpick if need be, and so on. Very, very versatile tool. So I was asking Peter from FS Bushcraft what he thought would be a good idea for a knife, because this one here, the SBP, that's what I carry. So he said, why don't you make a Froe? So I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, you know, a Froe normally has an eye like this. It's a straight piece of metal with a square end. I had to change it up a bit and make it more useful to me. I cut that end off, made it more like a tanto style, but that allows me to have a point so I can drill and such, and it can be used as a knife. Also, I had to put scales on it because now it's a chopper. The balance is pretty decent. It's right there. Balance is very nice on this knife, and it makes a very nice little chopper. It's not a heavy chopper, but with that balance, that big eye on the back makes it a nice chopper. But to control, it works great as well. Now, the flies are really bad, so ignore me swatting and such. Wow. So anyhow, he said, why don't you make a Froe? So I come up with this design right here. This is made from leaf spring steel, and it has walnut scales with brass pins. I forged it all out and such, made the shape, and any advice that I could get from Darren, I gladly took. But I started to grind it out, and I'm not used to his grinding setup, so I asked him if he would do it. And he put the grinds in it for me, and after he put the primary grind in it, then I took it home and used a file and also the Lansky sharpening set to finish the secondary bevel. So it has a flat grind with a secondary bevel, and it's been working great. So now, with that being said, let's chop some more with it and split some more, and I'm going to get a decent handle for this as well. This here should make a decent baton. Now what I got to do is find a portion that I can put a handle down through this way and beat it in to tighten it up. So I just have to keep going down this. This is all good firewood. And the other one's about probably 2.5, 3 inches in diameter. That's about all I'm going to actually split with this. Probably 4, maybe 5 inches at max. It's got a 7-inch blade. But right now, got to kind of guesstimate. I'd say probably right about here. And I could always cut that up later, but I'm just going to cut this piece here and try it. Okay, I'm going to drop it down to the bottom like this. Hang on to it here and tap this down. Now I know I got to go a little bit bigger. So this one here should do. So what I'll do is, now you could have a pre-made handle, it's up to you, but I made this so you could fashion a handle out here. I'm just going to stick this in this way, beat it down in, then cut off the excess. I might have to actually trim it up a little bit. Give that a try. Any tools that you have to make a handle in the bush, usually it doesn't go real quick. That should do. Now all I have to do is cut this off. Now I have my Froe. Now we can start splitting. So in this design, I had to come up with an idea of how I can split this and make it better than just a normal knife. My SBP can split wood and baton just as easy. The only thing is that if I get stuck, this here with the handle can help. So if I put this down, I've got a ring of knots right here. So if I can put that down until I get my hands in there and then pull. Now that started splitting in that. Go down a little bit more. Now I've also got to remember, if this thing comes up, I've got to watch for that. Like that. And you can see that split that no problem. Only time I usually ever split wood is if I'm crafting, bushcrafting out here, trying to make something with split wood, or if I'm trying to get to dry wood after it rains. So I want to make sure my hands, as you see, I splits that really nice. I want to make sure that if I go, when I twist that, the knife don't pop up and cut me. Care is going to have to be taken, of course, but I am mindful of that. You can see how nice that does. I don't have to beat it. Now starting to loosen up right there. All I have to do is that. This one here is giving me a hard time. It's going to pull and it splits. This is working pretty decent. So my plan is I wedge it down like this here until I can get my fingers in it, and it's also down below so I don't have to worry about being cut when I snap it over. Now to take it out, now if I wanted to, I could keep that, but this also can make some really nice feathers as well. So this here is a one-of-a-kind design. I've never seen anything like this. Like I said, putting this Tantu, now I have some place to hit even out here. Gives me a longer range here, and I can split more of a larger diameter piece of log. So this design has been working great. I can feather with it, I can chop with it. So it's a bush knife, but it also has the capability of working like a Froe. So I call it a bush Froe. So there it is. I just wanted to bring this to you, and it's an idea that I came up with and wanted to share. So take care, thanks for watching, and hopefully you didn't get too bored watching me beat wood, but most of us don't. Take care, all the best.